So let's move on a little bit before we break for coffee. As a checklist, it's by no means complete, but it's a bunch of things to consider. So, do you use jargon unnecessarily in your copy? Lots of people do and don't notice, or think that it's necessary even. Can you use simpler language? You don't need to do the whole, fifth grader level. If you know your customer, then you just use that, and you can drop certain terms that your prospects will identify, and so on. But the jargon has to go. Oh, what happened there? Okay, so also know your customer exactly, not like just, okay, we did a focus group, or we think it is, or I've had this experience and they probably have it too, but know in exact detail who they actually are. So if you have to think about who am I writing, that you're making too many choices while you're writing an email or writing a social media post, then you probably don't know your customer properly. And like we talked about this before, speak directly to them about their needs, about their wants, about their dreams, about the pains they want to get rid of, everything that's going on in their heads. I mean, it's so easy for us to lapse into just talking about what we want to offer them and how it's structured and how it's going to benefit them. And before we do that, we have to, actually I'm just going to go here because I'm not sure if it's on the list, should get attention and use the whole headline stack as we looked at in Helen's copy. And directly after, use a piece of drama. If we have time, we can get an exercise or talk it over later. To open with a piece of drama that's relevant to your prospects is the thing that is lacking in most people's copy, and yet that's the thing that can carry them from the beginning right to the end to the call to action. So finding that drama in your offering. It could be your own turning point at some point in the past, or some of your clients, or something that's happening in your market. But to dramatize that and communicate that right after you've gotten their attention is really important. Tell them ways to use your product. Don't expect them to know how it's gonna be, what they're gonna get, what the service is gonna be like. Different ways to use it. What are they going to use it on? Give them several ideas on you need to get their imagination going so that they'll see them using the product or service. That's why in infomercials you see all these demonstrations of the gadgets, and here's how it goes wrong, and here's how it goes right, and you imagine yourself doing the same. And of course, we talked about lead magnets before. The old phrase is useful but incomplete. It depends what you're doing. That might or might not be useful, but oftentimes, if you have a large body of knowledge, you can extract bits and pieces of value that you'll use to attract people. And awakening self-interest and knowing what it actually is for your people. A surprising amount don't really know what that is. You can find out by asking them surveys, looking at your analytics, and you can do interviews. You can even watch your competitors. Using a lot of specifics like Helen just did. It increases believability. And using it arbitrarily, like you will make $12,186. That's not the way, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, triggers. Probably don't have time to go into that too much today because we're talking persuasion tactics of a different kind. But some of you know Cialdini and so on. But if there's anything in your offering, in your product, in your service that is easy, fast, or lucrative, and you can back that up, don't forget to include them. It may be obvious to you, but it's not obvious to them. And again, I've been harping on this because it's so essential. Go from thinking about your features, what you're delivering, to benefits, and then on to meanings. And the important part is, especially, you can have an arm-long list of benefits and bullets and all of that, but to have, for your sales message, you have impact, choose the best only, and just scrap the ones that aren't so strong. So 3 to 5 really meaningful benefits. Selling the familiar, it's oftentimes people have a lot easier time buying something when they can compare it to something else. Can't believe it's not butter and all of that.
I've got another question. Is it not a bit unethical when you compare it to another brand? I've seen adverts doing it, and it seems a bit like slagging each other off.
Can you give me an example?
I can't think of anything now.
So, well, with perfumes, for example, you know, if you liked this, you'll love that sort of thing.
I think that's more useful for products that are kind of complex and that people are like, yeah, it sounds interesting, but I have no idea what this is. And like many software products are sold that way when they're being launched. Yeah, it's kind of like Kajabi, but it's different in these ways. We're launching Campfire to the world, and it's kind of like Kajabi, but it's much easier to use, and it doesn't have all the confusing this and that. So it's kind of like this, and you don't have to name what you're comparing it to necessarily, but it's something to have something familiar to compare it to. So it doesn't have to be another brand or another product that you're kind of putting down.
There's a subtle variant on that. Was it Hearts or Avis? Who was the second best? You know, the advert they did.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Avis. Yeah.
It was Avis, wasn't it? Because Hearts was the biggest one. We're the second biggest, so we need your help. So there's like a subtle play on that because everyone knows the big brand, if you like, but we're second best. But
Yeah, it's like washing up liquids. There's Fairy and there's
The other leading brand.
and it just.
But cleaning products often do it against themselves, same as men's razors. You know, now we've got a razor with 600 blades compared to our one that had 10 blades before, and it gives you an even closer shave. So they often compare, they're themselves to themselves. If that makes sense.
I just sometimes wonder whether it's ethical.
It's like how they pitch films as well, you know, they go, you know, it's like Jaws meets High School Musical.
Yeah.
You know, and they're trying to explain something.
Now that I'd watch.
Like a reference to it, I'm like, oh, it's that, okay, yeah, it's
Singing
in high school,
Yeah.
or high school on a boat, I don't know.
Okay, so selling the exclusive is a big trigger for a lot of people. People don't generally admit it, but they wanna join clubs that are exclusive. They want to drive a little bit better car that not everybody has, for example. An authority. A lot of entrepreneurs skimp on that because either they feel that they don't have it yet, or they feel like people should know it, or it's not necessary. But it kind of is. Risk reversal, having a bold guarantee, is super important. That was probably the last thing of the major copy things that I ever learned. To trust that you can actually have a strong guarantee that will feel like, okay, I'm giving away something here, but nobody will probably take advantage of you anyway. And on some offers, yes, you can. It's probably not strictly legal to expect people, okay, you'll get your money back if you've done this and this and this, but you can still say it in your guarantee because you set the expectation, and then people will understand that you have to be serious to buy this product. And also on a lot of online sales pages, people just skip the whole close part. And these are some of the more popular ways to do a close before you actually call for the action. It could be the crossroads close. Are you going to keep doing the same thing that you've been doing so far? It's probably going to escalate into something worse and worse and worse unless you now take this step and reap all the benefits. The benefit recap is another way to close. You just bring in some of the best benefits. You just remind them of what they could soon have, and fear of missing out. If you have an expiring offer, of course, or some other actual reason why it's not going to be offered.
What options have you got if you've got an evergreen product? I know you can do, for like a scarcity thing. You can buy in any time. So, what other options are there? We've got deadline funnel on our e-learning. So we do like disappearing bonuses. But is there anything else you can do that compels people to buy now when they just think, well, I can just buy it whenever? What can you close on?
Yeah, there's so much.
Well, we can chat about it maybe.
Yeah, let's do it separately. And finally, actually ask for the action. And usually direct action is better than indirect. When you have anything more than a short email. And also to go with the call to action, it's good to give a little bit about, manage expectations, tell them what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds, in the next 24 hours, so that they know that it's not just somebody taking your money. And as we went through a bit of the visual formatting, there are actual guidelines, to the width of a paragraph, to the font sizes, and all of that, and we can actually talk about that separately. But it's really important because if people can't read your copy, it won't work anyway. Bonus is, of course, it's not applicable to every business, but everybody kind of wants one. Am I going to get a good deal? And when it comes to this whole online business, it used to be like you'd buy, like I bought, I think it was 2005 September when I bought Jeff Walker's original product launch formula, and it was like a box this big came into my door. And now it's basically, okay, you have extra access to people who can coach you. That's the bonus a lot of people want. And finally, is your product actually easy to order and consume? You may think it is, but make sure that, especially, well, actually, it's everybody. I mean, there's actually quite a bit of competition on shopping cart side, for different designs of checkouts, and you can get a surprisingly big difference in that.
So, on the webinar thing that we're looking at, Europe, the classic advice has come from a number of sources from guys that do this.
Yep.
But the two of them come from the IM world, which is bonus stacking. I'm not a fan. I appreciate I'm not my audience, but I was talking to Helen about this the other day. My kind of view is that the product should be, if we pitch it right, the product should be the thing. So taking it to a point.
It's true, yeah.
And the fast action bonus would be price driven because the product is what it is. We can for people who go and order it now, webinar, we give them a reduction, but also we can give them a bonus of making the thing work better, which essentially is in the case of our Rome workshop, is actually in our case, critiquing the workbook. Otherwise, it's a DIY thing.
Yeah.
So we help them with that. So I don't know what you think, but I was thinking of that.
Stacking, stacking irrelevant bonuses is not a good idea in my book. Because
it's more information to consume.
It's so artificial. This bonus stack is worth $20,000. Nobody believes it.
Yeah.
But if it's 2 or 3 bonuses that are actually relevant to the actual primary offer, then that may.
So potentially you can readily see that you could get a better result.
Yeah, that actually adds to the main offer. Then it works.
Right. Yeah. So.
Okay. Any questions at this point, or shall we have a coffee break?
Drink, please.
Flat.
Yeah.
Makes you a fan there. Yeah.